What is going on, my friends? Hope you're all doing well. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the GTPower Container Truck Lighting and Voice Vibration System Pro. That's right, the Pro Edition. Okay, so a lot of people are wondering what's the difference between this and the MFC. Number one, price, and number two, it's a different name. That's really it. Everything else is pretty much the same. I've done a video on that already, but today's video is not about that. Today's video is about putting it together. And I've seen a few videos and I've wondered, how do I get this thing to work properly? And each one does a really good job of doing certain things very well, and other things, are skipped, but I think I'll try to do my best version here. And essentially, you see a tangle of messy wires. Don't let that discourage you, because that's just the final connections to the machine. It's basically saying, okay, this wire is going to go from this light and it's going to fish its way through the vehicle, and then it's going to connect here. So we'll worry about this part here, where those specific lights connect to. We will also worry about where these servo leads go. They go underneath here. We'll figure that one out. Then these big thick cables, they go here, and then there's more cables going out, and it's, why are there so many cables? I don't know, but that's not as important as finding out how it all works, right? Here's our speaker. This wire goes to a battery, and these yellow and green ones go to the motors. So everything we see here is from the kit, except for the vibration motor. I don't understand why. Maybe it's just a preference thing. I don't like the vibrating motor, so I don't put it in any of my trucks or vehicles, just because I just don't like it. It's a preferential thing. Now, if you have this kit, you're going to get an instruction manual like this one, okay? It gives you a basic layout of how everything's going to connect. So it tells you the steering servo is going to connect on the first connection, the tailgate or the tail light connection on the next one, and the shift servo there, and then your receiver connects here. Okay, very important part here. If you don't want to have issues, make sure you connect all the servo leads that come from this. If you don't, it's going to beep and it's going to tell you you're doing something wrong, and you're going to scratch your head and wonder why. It's because all 4 servo leads need to be connected to the receiver. Step 1. Make sure you connect them as per the diagram in here. Okay? This is going to tell you exactly where you need to connect them to. And there you go. Okay? So these ones are going to go channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, channel 4. Where you connect it here, that is your preference, right? Because on the transmitter, this will be 1, this will be 2, this will be 3, and this will be 4. But for some people, this could be 1, and this could be 2, and this could be 3, and this could be 4. Whatever the case is, as long as you connect this the way you want it here, that's all that matters. Now, once we have these connected, okay, so I connected 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, perfect. So we've completed this part here. These open spots on this side here, okay, let's just go in closer. Steering servo interface, okay, steering servo, bam. I have my steering servo here. It is connected to the steering servo. It'll connect to the very first spot at the top. Okay, that is where the steering servo goes. The next one is empty, and the next one is the tail light connector. And now that one there, I believe, is for your 5th wheel. So just confirm that. In my case, I'm not making a. In my case, I'm making a cement truck. Yeah. So no 5th wheel. Now, you can do a 5th wheel, most people do. And then the last one here is a shift servo. So I have a shift servo as well. It is connected at the bottom here. I'm going to disconnect it. Why? Because I don't want to shift any gears. This isn't going to go fast enough to need gear shifting. So we're just going to leave it in first gear all the time. And that's just the way it's going to be. So I'm going to disconnect that one after, but I just showed you that it's connected there. All right, we're done with that page. Moving on to the next page. Ooh, this is the best one. The nice thing about this manual is it tells you every single position what light is for what size LED goes in there, and what color LED should be in there, okay? And then you just follow the schematics. It says J8. Well, where's J8? So we'll look over here. We'll find that J8 is right there. It's the coupler switch, okay? So then you'll connect J8, which over here is the coupler switch. There's no light, okay? And on J8, it's open. All right, so all of these here will be populated with lights right there. Okay, so I've connected mine based on the way I want. So my brake lights will connect to the brake lights here. One thing that I've done differently is this set of brake lights goes to, I believe, right here, J9. And then those ones go to the trailer one. Where's the trail brake lighting on the container? J13, it's red. So then I have those as my brake lights because I wanted extra brake lights just because of this specific truck. This is the way I did it. You may want to do it differently. The reverse lights go to the reverse channel. Okay, so follow this and it'll tell you reverse lamp is J10. Put it in the J10, which is the second one there. Okay, so on and so forth. There's a diagram here that tells you what each light on the vehicle does, or its position. Okay, done that. Here are some calibrations. So again, you can adjust the sensitivity to your vibration unit and your ESC. Now this one's kind of important because this will adjust the speed of the motor. Okay, so when we go and give throttle, this will only give a certain amount of output by adjusting this little blue screw here. So you use a screwdriver to adjust it left or right for more speed or less speed. Okay, that's what that does there. And then it'll give you some descriptions here as what these other things do. There's a QR code for downloading the app. I'd love to show you the app, but I'm using my phone to record this. So just download the app. It's pretty simple. It'll bind to your vehicle once it recognizes it, and you can synchronize it. And every time you make a change on the app, you just go back and click or press the synchronize button so it saves those settings. All right, so it has like automatic startup. You can adjust all the lights. There's lots of functionality, and you're probably going to need it to make any changes, because one of the things about this kit, which I'm not sure why it does it, but it doesn't do it, but others will, is if I want to go and do the hazards, well, I can't do it with this transmitter. It just, I don't know, it just doesn't work. So yeah, I haven't figured it out. I'm not going to bother figuring it out. So if I want to do hazards, I'll just press the middle light here to turn it on. Power, this decides your modes. Leave it in simulation mode. It's what I have it set up. Again, you can always change this. And here's your lights. So you'd click through this button to go through the lights, and we'll go through all that stuff to show you. And here's the volume button. And that's all you really need to do on this particular head unit. When you're connecting it, this multicolored light wire thing here goes into this port. This heavier gauged one goes in the bottom, and this one will connect here, and this other one will connect over here. Okay, so that's the two locations. Your speaker will connect to this location, and this is the speaker that you get. It's a generic speaker. If you don't like this box, take it off. One of the things I've noticed on these boxes is there's no porting. So maybe drill a hole somewhere away from the speaker so that you can get more of that sound out of it, because when it's sealed like this, it just sounds not as good. What else do we need here? This is your power. It's going to be XT60. I use Dean's for my connections, so I just ran an extra little cable here. And then the two leads for your motor and transmission. Okay, everything's just out because I'm not finished building this, but let's just see how it all works. So I've got all my wires connected to the locations that I want. Okay, and then a nice thing about this kit is they give you these little stickers that you can stick on there, and it'll tell you exactly which position that it's going to be in and what the light does. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Just attach those when you disconnect these guys and you forget, oh, which one did it go to? This is real handy. Now, once we've done all these things, you're going to have to calibrate your transmitter. That's just part of it. There's a calibration setup here. I had a hard time with this because I just wasn't reading it carefully. Essentially, you have to go channel 1, calibrate, channel 2, calibrate, channel 3, calibrate, channel 4, calibrate. You have to do it in this order. So you'll grab your transmitter, find out what channel 1 is, and do the calibration with that. There's a button here, okay? Very small button, just above the blue knobs here. You press and hold and you'll hear a long beep, and then you'll move your transmitter up, press the button, move it down, press the button, put it back in the center, press the button, it'll complete channel 1. Then you go do the same thing for channel 2, 3, and 4. And then you should be done calibrating. I didn't do that. I just decided to do the way I wanted and it doesn't work. So we've got everything out of the way. Let's light the fires and get some lights going on here. Now with anything that you do in RC, always turn on your transmitter first, okay? You want to turn this on first so that your receiver, this guy here, will detect the transmitter. So we don't want to get any trucks driving off in that case. Once we've got our battery connected, you'll come and you'll turn on the power. Beep beep, automatically it will turn on the truck. You get some Asian lady telling us about how her day was. Alright, well, getting some interference here. Just leave that down. Okay, so the way the transmitter will work here is if I want to do my turn signals, okay, if I go left, so we'll have our turn signals, okay, and I've bound them so that they know exactly what they're doing. And I'll turn off the lights here so we can get a better view of the lighting, okay. Now, if I want to go forward on the truck, right, this is my left trigger. And I hit the brakes, right, brakes are on, let go of the brakes. Now if I want to go in reverse. Hit the brakes. So if I go forward, pull back, hits the brakes. Back to center, reverse, back to center, oh. Reverse, and brakes. Now, if I want to do my hazard lights, I'm going to have to come over here and press the center button. Alright. Now, if I want my daytime running lights, there they are, and if I press it again, there's my front daytime running lights, the rear lights are on, and then full high beams, right, it's pretty bright, and then off, and that's it. When you want to turn off the truck, and it turns off. So I have the inside lights on. If I cycle through it again, we have our night lights, and then everything's off. So those are the 3 different modes, and then we'll look at the back as well. Okay, so from here we'll hit the dial again. Those are the night lights. The front lights turn on, and then they're off. Now with the app, you can turn any of the lights on and off at any time. You can also set how long the truck runs for. And so while we're running, we're going to do reverse. Now if we accelerate forward and brake, there you go. And again, you can adjust all these things too. And the hazards, well, so all the hazards are running. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section. I'll answer your questions as best as I can and get back to you quickly. Again, I had lots of questions about this and I wanted to know more about how this system would work. And slowly I'm learning about it, but it comes with enough LEDs. It comes with all the stuff you need to put it together. It's not as daunting a task as you think. It's probably more work just to fish all the wires through your truck than it is to just have everything set up, because these final connections here are pretty simple and easy. The hardest part is the calibration. Okay, and calibration, again, follow it. Channel 1, do the calibration steps that they tell you, then channel 2, channel 3, channel 4. I was just doing whatever stick I wanted to calibrate, and that's not the correct way. It's channel 1. If this is channel 1, then do that first. Then channel 2, if it's this one or this one, whichever one you have, just make sure you do it in that order and press the calibration button after each step that you do. Hopefully this helped you out a little bit. If you like these types of videos, please leave a comment and give it a thumbs up.